life growing up, you have the normal teenage like dramas and stuff like that, but I'm gonna say it was quite tough. There was a lot of things that left me with a lot of mental health and physical health problems, and yeah, like it was hard. I did go through the motion, and I didn't have anywhere to turn, and I wasn't doing well, and just relying on people that didn't really care what I would be doing with my life. There was this time where I was quite young. I had a lot of things happen to me with people that were online and stuff like that when I was in like year 3 and stuff like that, and so that caused me to have trauma and PTSD, which I'm happy to say that God's helping me with now, and He is bit by bit reshaping me to be the strongest person He wanted me to be. But yeah, I was at a point before I came to youth where I was, I think, on my 3rd suicide attempt, and I didn't have hope. I didn't have anything. No one. People are your friends, but they're not really there to guide you. They're just that idea of a friend, because everyone wants that connection and wants to feel like there's someone there for them. I started going to youth like 3 years ago or so, thanks to the lovely Beck Gallagher, and it was a few weeks in, and something just changed, like dramatically. I remember being at the back of the room, just crying so much, and I had Beck next to me just telling me like stuff that I felt like I hadn't heard. I hadn't heard that people were proud of me genuinely. And the fact that it was from a stranger was like, it was frightening, but it was also like, it was real. And I remember there was just this one moment where we were in the car, and just after all this had happened and I'm really confused, experienced God for the first time, and I was just talking to her about my life and growing up, and she turned to me and she was like, the Father loves you unconditionally. And that really hit home for me, just knowing that there is someone out there that loves me no matter what. My favorite part about God is that the knowing that He is, one, always there for you, unconditional, just 100% of the time, doesn't matter what's happening, He's there for you. That's something that I really, really wish I had growing up. And I think the main thing is He's surprising. Something I value is truth, and He is literally like Jesus, the Prince of Truth, King of Truth. Like, He'll always be truthful with you. And so there's so many moments where He hit me, and I just was like, look, I know that I don't want to do this, but you're telling me to do this, so I know what's right. The things that I'm like super excited for, like when we come back, is just how long we've been bottled up in our rooms and just what's gonna come out of it. Because I know that I personally have been drawing and stuff like that, but I've also spent so much time educating myself on the pain and the sad things that are happening in this world that we've missed because we've been so focused on Corona. But that's just fueled something in me, and I really can't wait to see what everyone else has brought from it. Like, the revivals that are gonna happen are gonna be next level. The worship that we're gonna have, like, we've been worshiping in our rooms, prepping our voices for so long that as soon as we come back, it's literally gonna be a roar of revival, 100%. Like, we're gonna come back to it all and give it our all without even realizing. One bit of advice I give to any of the youth watching is don't be afraid. We have so much to worry about, so why are we worrying in God's house? Like, why are we worrying when we have Jesus? Like, there's always going to be people that are like spearing negativity at us, but we have the truth, we have love. So just don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to tell people that you love them. Don't be afraid to encourage people. Don't be afraid to, just because you can't physically touch them, doesn't mean you can't spiritually and mentally touch them. Like, just don't be, honestly. We don't need more cowards in this world when we are ferocious.